Yes,
why
that's
it's not a fantastic painting.
Yeah, that's the mystery about why is it a mystery.
And then so you have Mona, and in Freemasonry they use the word Mona a lot because it's Ammon. It's an anagram for Ammon, and then Lisa, or it would be in Italian, it would be El Isa. The painting was the most famous painting in the world. Why?
Yes,
Why?
it's
into, as long as you buy into one of them,
yeah.
and give it wholeheartedly, give your whole heart into it, because essentially, like I've been trying to work on at the moment and explain, that this is a war on the human heart, and Earth is the final part of multiple other planets that this has been done to, and Earth is the heart center place. So they're trying to take control of the Earth because it's the heart, and the way to do that is attack innocence, and the first thing you're going to do if you're going to take over a planet is you want to take away the strongest male energy.
Yeah.
So that's been done very calculatedly, especially over the 20th century, with the inversion of the original Baphomet. The original Baphomet, I think we were talking to you about this earlier, wasn't an androgynous goat of Mendes pointing as above, so below like that at all. But Eliphas Levi then created this goat to show what it would be to externally create a male and female in one body, to have an androgynous being that way. And I think I've talked about the Mona Lisa being sort of the same thing. It never made any sense to me why that particular picture or that particular painting was the most famous painting in the world. Why?
Yes,
why? It's not a fantastic painting.
Yeah, that's the mystery about why is it a mystery.
And then so you have Mona, and in Freemasonry they use the word Mona a lot because it's Ammon. It's an anagram for Ammon. And then Lisa, or it would be in Italian, it would be El Isa, which is Isis. So it's like the union of Ammon-Ra and Isis into one body. That's what the Baphomet is. The goat that they're always showing, that imagery that Eliphas Levi painted and created. So they need to take out the planet. First of all, they need to take away the strong males of the planet. And so there's a massive push and a surge to emasculate the males on this planet, and it's a very touchy subject because you can't really go too far with it without being called a bigot or without being called.
Well, it's a bit like the Jew term that immediately triggers.
You're immediately condemned if you say anything that goes against kind of the mainstream thought of that. So I'm being careful, and I'm not prejudiced in any way, but there is quite clearly an agenda going on with that, and the Jenner story, which showing that they could, right in front of our eyes, take a gold medal Olympic athlete and then turn him into a female, was also embedding into the subconscious that. Look what we can do. Look what we can do to you if we want to.
It's like the Monarch program. The first model they used, one of America's finest model ladies, and they mind controlled her and
yeah. Well,
they can take the finest and the best of what you've got. And we can just
exactly that. And then that's quite clearly an agenda for anyone who's sort of got their eyes open to see that. Talking about that, if you're trying to attack the human heart and you're trying to finish that's the Earth is the heart, and our connection to the Earth. All the human beings on the Earth are connected to the heart, and the attack on children and the pedophile rings that are attached to all the things that are going on at the moment are to do with attacking the innocence of human beings.
And a lot of these children's homes are on energy lines, so that the trauma from what those children go through is ingested into the Earth's energetic system.
Yeah, so all of it's an inversion of all the sacred geometrical, the natural creative sacred geometrical patterns have been inverted. So all the Gothic cathedrals, all of the sort of main buildings, all of the architecture, architecture goes back to masonry as well. they have all the grid lines, they have the maps, and they have all the information for all the grid lines all over the planet. So they've been doing that, and they've managed to not just the, I mean, because we tend to think of all the old, you know, the old Gothic buildings being the ones that are sacredly geometrically built, but all the modern stuff is as well. It's just it's unseen. It's not as clear. When you walk into a cathedral, you quite clearly see that it's there, but it's also with the modern buildings, it's the same way. So yeah, so they're inverting. I was, in addition to this, so with their slow, they can't implement this, you know, they can't put this all into play like immediately. It has to be done in like a drip, slowly put it into place, because otherwise people would revolt against it. But slowly they've been being able to increase the amount of vileness in like mainstream television, slowly with creating animated television that is we're told that it was created for adults, like South Park or like Family Guy. We're told these are adult shows, but you know, anytime you're going to have an animated show, they know that children are going to be drawn to it, especially with South Park when it's being based around children. So children are watching the most unbelievably vile things, and that's an attempt again to, it's one of the sidearms of taking away the innocence, because the core heart is innocence.
Christine Joanna Hart, who you've been on a show, she's mentioned about her child and about the kind of books that they're being read, that they have to read as part of their education course. It has slaughter and blood and all sorts of horrendous things. And this is dismissed as just, oh, this is an award-winning author, you should be reading it. But this is for children, not, you know, this is for young children.
You want to keep an eye on who's writing the children's books, and you know, you see a lot of celebrities writing children's books. I'm not going to name any names, but you can go and look around and find that I name one. Madonna has written a number of children's books. There are others too. Like, it's out there pretty much that Madonna is a high priestess, and it's very clear if you watch any of her number of her performances at any of the big shows that she's doing ritualistic work. She's doing that, and she's writing children's books because they want to get to children, because children is the raw innocence. They're not so much interested in the later years, because you sort of already adapted your thought patterns and your thought prisons. You've already sort of dealt with that. You're already dealt with, so they're not interested. So they're always going after the children. They're increasingly sort of, the children's books are increasingly vile.